Okay, so what I will be explaining today is something that comes from chapter 18, and that is on the subject of ray optics. Just write that down. Alright. What I'm going to be doing is something that initially was confusing to me, but it's like just a lot of volume of information. But once you grasp some basic concepts, which is what I'll be explaining, then you realize that it actually isn't as confusing as we originally thought it to be. Um, so basically, what we know in chapter 18 in regards to ray optics is basically there are two, I guess you could say, components or mediums that we deal with. One of which is our lenses. Then we have mirrors. Okay. Now there are two types of lenses. We have one which is diverging, and that correlates with convex convex mirrors because they produce the same function. I guess you could say generally. I'll go more into detail what I mean by that, but an illustration simply is this is a poorly drawn diverging lens, and the light will travel through here. And this is a concave mirror, or convex mirror. All right, basically like this, and light will travel this way. All right. Now we have converging lenses, which are basically looking like this. And once again, the light travels this way. Correlating with that are concave mirrors. Okay, just look like this. This is the back of it, and the light will travel here. Okay, so those are basically the four major components in chapter 18, essentially. We also have plane mirrors, which, as we know, is just like a mirror you would find in your household. It just is a straight line, basically, and light will go off of it this way. That's a plane mirror. But that's a relatively simple concept, so I won't be going over that. Something to remember is that in lenses, light rays pass through while light reflects off of mirrors pass through. Okay, so that's basically just another component that you can remember, that in lenses, light rays will pass through the lenses while light reflects off of mirrors. Okay, which is a generally simple concept, but sometimes with all this information we tend to forget. Okay, and so let me explain something that will help you guys better determine what's a virtual and a real image and just things regarding that. Okay, so first I will draw out. Let's see. We'll start off with diverging lens. Okay, if we have light that travels, let's see, this way, what will happen is the light will get refracted and will go outwards. Okay, this is diverging lens. Okay, and so that's always the case, essentially. There are different circumstances where light will travel through the center and there is no change in that. But if light travels through any other proportion, it will generally reflect outwards, away from wherever, the center, I guess you could say, the focal point or anything like that. Um, so with that being said, diverging lens and as well as, I'll put convex mirror. The reason why they're categorized together is because of this phenomenon that I'll show you. So if we have this mirror over here, okay, if light comes off of here, It doesn't pass through like a lens. It will reflect, excuse me, this way. Okay, it'll bounce away. It'll bounce away from, a central image anywhere in the center. With that being said, the reason why these are considered similar, the same, is because they both produce virtual images. And we can see that because if we have multiple of these light rays or whatever coming through here, these two rays right here, they will never intersect on a normal plane. Therefore, we would have to draw a dotted line somewhere. And at their intersection is where we could find an image. And then the same goes for these images as well. If we keep on drawing this line, and if we have another one that goes like this and this, let's say, we have this imaginary, because the dotted lines are these imaginary. We can't actually see these light rays. Imaginary. That's what I guess the quote unquote is saying. This is now the image, image. Okay, and so that's basically why they're, I guess, categorized similarly here. Right across here and here. Okay, and now as for converging lens, line here. Okay, if we have a light that comes this way, it'll do the exact opposite of a diverging lens. It'll come or refract this way. Okay, I'll just keep on drawing it. Okay, and if we have another one that comes here, it will also go towards. They go towards in a straight line. It's a little crooked here, but they go straight, and then where they cross is where this image will be. Okay, and we know that this is real simply because we don't have to draw these imaginary, lines, because that would be pointless essentially. Okay, and that's the same for a, let's see, concave mirror. Now, concave mirror will look like this. Okay, this is the back side of it. If we have a light that comes in this way, it will reflect downwards. Same as this. Okay, it's going this way. I guess we could say that this will come up like this, something like that. And just keep on going. And then where they intersect is this image. Now we know that these are real images, because we don't have to draw these dotted lines, going backwards, or just to find this, virtual, kind of image. And that's basically the difference between these two, and that's a concept that I think is really important that you should, keep in the back of your minds.